Ooh, welcome Transformer fans. My name is Composite Enerjoe, and today's review is on the Transformers Cyberverse Build-A-Figure Maccadam. And here he is in his alt mode. Now, I'm not entirely sure what this alt mode is, but I think it's one of two things. Either A, he's transformed into a pile of rubble, so that's what he's disguised as, or he's dead. He's dead in a similar vein to how Ultra Magnus died in the '86 animated movie. He was just torn apart. So yeah, and as you can see, you can't really do much in this alt mode. He doesn't really do anything, no articulation, nothing much to see here. So let's get right on to his transformation. Now his transformation is very similar to that of the War for Cybertron trilogy's what's it called? The weaponizers, modulators, and even the fossilizers, where you have to disassemble them and just reassemble them. I'm not the biggest fan of doing this, but that's how he works. So let's just connect them like so that we have the chest ready to go. Let's get these legs. Let's see, not that ankle. Let's see, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Come on. There we go. One leg ready to go. One leg, other leg, ready to go. I believe that's how it is. Let's get the arms. Come on. There we go. And there we go. So now he's almost done. Let's get the shoulders on. Slap. Yep, this is the right hand. I mean, it's the left hand, but it's the right one. That makes any sense. Connect the legs. As you can see, the transformation is nothing too special. Here we go. And now form the head. Dinotherm's connected. Insert Voltron. There we go. The head does give me a bit of an issue when transforming. And here we have Maccadam. Oh, and here's his weapon. It's his little axe thing. He just holds it in each and any hand like so. So here we have Maccadam in his robot mode. And that transformation wasn't too bad. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of parts forming, but that's what he does. Okay, all jokes aside. So here we have the Build-A-Figure Maccadam. And by itself as a figure, it's pretty good. I like the design. It's very nice, the nice little design. Fun fact, apparently Maccadam is not a brand new character from Cyberverse. I thought he was. This design is, but Maccadam is actually a Generation 1 character from, I think, the comics. Like, I think I just found that out when doing a little bit of research for this character. So yeah, the character of Maccadam and owning a bar, and Maccadam's bar, has always been a thing, apparently. Who knew? I certainly didn't. Until now. And now you all know. So yeah, that's Maccadam. So let's get a closer look at this head sculpt, and yeah, it looks pretty good. From the pictures I've seen, this actually looks fairly accurate to his appearance in the Cyberverse show. And I said it looks pretty good. Head sculpt, pretty nice. And while we're at it, head is a ball joint. I mean, he's nothing but ball joints, as you can see. Ball joints, ball joint, ball joint, ball joint there, ball joint. And you can't tell, but it is a ball joint here. And the arms are on a swivel. I mean, not the arms, the hands, the wrists have swivels, which is nice. So yeah, he's actually very posable. He's a fairly posable figure, which is honestly, pretty impressive. I don't know how to pose him. But yeah, you can get him in some pretty good poses. Now, there are 3 issues I have with this figure. One is a mechanical issue, and what that means is, like, with the figure itself is one complaint I have with it. Then I have a personal issue with it, and there's a statistical issue with it. So Maccadam here does not have ankles. It's a darn shame. He has quite a bit of articulation. He's very well articulated. I'm not saying he's not, but I feel that it's weird that he doesn't have ankles. It's weird since I think all of the figures that came with his parts all had ankles, and they were all fantastic figures in their own way, and like by themselves, they were great figures. So there's that. So now the personal issue, and I apologize because right now there's not, I can't really talk about anything else with this guy. I pretty much did the review. So right now I'm going to like a mini rant. So the personal issue I have with this character is that, and I know there's fans out there, I don't like that he doesn't transform. I said it. There, I said it. I am not a fan of non-transforming transformers. And just me saying that realizes how weird those words are when used in a sentence. It feels so weird. What is a non-transforming transformer? That makes no sense. Now, I know there's fans out there who like that sort of thing. I mean, the robot enhanced design figures are a thing, and I think they're popular. I'm not entirely sure. I guess they are. But yeah, I don't like having a non-transforming transformer. That seems so weird to me. One of the things that I like about Transformers is that I feel, okay, this is a bit of a tangent, but I feel that Transformers are a very good toy for a kid. And hear me out, for a kid to sell to their parent for them to get it. And let me explain why. Essentially, I find Transformers to be a value figure. And what that means, at least what I'm trying to convey, is that a Transformer minimum, a standard Transformer is bare minimum 3 toys in one. You're probably thinking 3 toys, what do you mean? You mean like a triple changer? No, that would be like 4 or 5 toys. That's other things. But yeah, what I mean by that is I can see a kid being able to like ask his parents, their parents, his or her parents, if you want to get technical, that they want a Transformer. I can see it being an easy sell or easier sell than, let's say, a Marvel Legends figure or something. And what I mean by that is that the Transformers are a minimum of 3 toys. You're getting a robot, a pretty cool robot. You're getting a whatever he transforms into, let's say, for an example, a truck. So you're getting a truck, a robot. What's the third thing? A puzzle. Yeah, I bet you don't think that. Yeah. The act of transforming is essentially makes Transformers a puzzle toy. Because each figure has its own unique transformation. And in some cases, different ways of transforming them. So, you have to be able to do that. So yeah, a Transformer is bare minimum, a standard one anyway, is 3 toys in one. So I can see a little kid being able to explain that to their parents to convince them to get these figures, because I feel like you get your money's worth with a Transformer as opposed to other figures like Marvel Legends, not to like poop on Marvel Legends, but with those figures, what you see is what you're getting. You're getting a cool action figure, but that's all you're getting. Well, as opposed to a Transformer, you're getting, his robot mode, what he turns into, and the actual transformation itself is a toy, which is a puzzle. Since puzzle toys, obviously are a thing. So that's my personal issue. Now comes the statistical issue with this figure. So another fun fact, Maccadam is actually the second, that's right, the second ever Transformers Build-A-Figure. The very first one was the Transmutate from the 10th anniversary from 2006, the 10th anniversary Beast Wars line. Because I think they either reissued or made whatever during Beast Wars 10th anniversary back in 2006. They did a special for that. So they released figures that came with pieces of the Transmutate, which was a character from Beast Wars. That was the very first, and up until this guy, the only Build-A-Figure that Transformers ever made. Maccadam here is the very second one. And honestly, again, as a figure, he's a solid, nice, well-articulated figure. I'm not saying he's not. But now the statistical issue is, and let me show you with a size comparison. So here is Maccadam, here is Ratchet, and here is Cliffjumper. What seems wrong here? I'm going to show you. The fact that he's a Build-A-Figure that required, to do this the proper way, you required to buy 8 deluxe class figures to build this guy. And he himself is honestly a smaller deluxe class figure. Ratchet towers over him. And when you run the numbers, that to get this guy the legitimate, original, intended way was to purchase 8 deluxe class figures, that would mean, and I'll give you 2 numbers here. Well, not numbers, but I'll give you like 2 results here. So that would mean you would have to buy 8 deluxe class figures, which would equate to essentially buying a Titan class. So if you want to swing it, well, there's another way. So yeah, think about that. This guy is a deluxe class figure on sort of the smaller end. He's a smallish deluxe class, kind of like all of the other Cyberverses. I think next to the other ones, he's like bulkier, but that's about it. He's roughly the same size as them. So you have a Build-A-Figure that required 8 deluxe class figures. Essentially, you have to spend the same price as a Titan class. If actually, if anything, you're spending a tiny bit more than a Titan class just to complete them. Yeah, this is not Titan class. Like, he doesn't even transform. Like, that's a joke. And even if you want to say, oh, you know, let's cut that number in half. And let's say it's not Titan class price. You know what that would be? You divide Titan class price by 2, Commander class, or at least what we now call Commander class. Like the War for Cybertron trilogy, what's it called? The Skylinks, the Jetfire, and the upcoming, as of right now, the upcoming Rhodopus Prime. So yeah, that's still a lot of money for a smallish deluxe class figure that does not transform or even have ankles. So yeah, personally speaking, this figure is not a good transformer because A, he doesn't transform, and B, you require to buy 8 figures. I can't stress that enough. You had to buy 8 figures to get him. He is not worth completing. I hate to say that. I don't think this figure is worth having when you have to spend that much money to get him. Now, I know you can probably get him secondhand and whatever, and that I mentioned that because that leads me to another point for anyone who's curious. But yeah, the figure's okay as an action figure. It's a pretty good one. I think it's an horrendous transformer because it can't transform, and I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, and the fact that you had to spend that much money the proper way to get him. In fact, the only reason I even have this guy complete is because I started getting the actual deluxe class figures by themselves. It started with the RC figure. I honestly really like the RC figure. And then I started seeing the other figures on sale and stuff. So I started getting. Then I got the Grimlock. I like the Grimlock. Then I got the Megatron. I like the Megatron. So I just kept going. And each figure that I got, I liked more than the last. So the deluxe class figures by themselves were just honestly that good. So I got so close with this guy, so I decided, you know what? Let me get the final piece, which is, for me, was this leg here. Get the final piece and just finish him off. And originally, and I'm also going to explain now that this piece here comes with the deluxe class Shockwave. So this leg comes with Shockwave. But I'm going to tell you right now, for anyone out there, if you're going to ask me, oh, where's the Shockwave review? Like, why are you doing this guy before the Shockwave? Hate to burst your bubble, I didn't get the Shockwave. This piece I just was able to get on eBay by itself because, well, 2 reasons. One, I didn't want to buy the Shockwave, to be honest. I just didn't want to spend the money to get it, just to get this piece. And if you're wondering, well, wait a minute, the Shockwave figure is great. Look, I'm sure it is. Cyberverse Shockwave, for the most part, from what I've seen, ends up being a fantastic figure. Like on the 2 sizes that I have, the Warrior and the, what was it called? The Spark Armor Shockwaves. I actually love both of those figures. So I can only imagine that this deluxe one is probably the best one of all. But this is the second reason I didn't want to get another Shockwave. I didn't want to spend the money just to complete him, and I honestly didn't want to get another Shockwave. As of right now, I'm pretty good on Shockwaves right now. So yeah, that's my complaint. So here's sort of my pseudo solution to this. This is how I would have done this. Either make this guy, so he's non-transforming. That's not the big issue I have with this, is the fact that you need to buy 8 figures to complete him. So since he doesn't transform, well, first thing, I would have him transform. I would have had this guy transform, and I think that would have like helped alleviate some of the issues. But so that aside, so if you're gonna make him non-transforming, this is what they should have done. Make Maccadam a leader class figure. I think that'll justify. I think that justifies. Let me bring back a cliff jumper here. I would have been okay if this guy was like this scale with, like, imagine this the deluxes, and this would have been Maccadam scale. In fact, I originally thought this was gonna be the scale. How awesome would this figure have been had he been like this size compared to like the deluxe Optimus? Make him huge. But they didn't. He's deluxe class and a smaller deluxe class. Kind of a slap to the face is that. So again, since he required 8, so with 8, he should have been huge, like a leader class, if not bigger. So okay, not leader class. Then I would have honestly made him at least Voyager, but only required 6 figures. I think that's more manageable. Again, this is only if he does not transform. So if they don't want to do that, so let's say they just wanted to have this guy be as is, this size, this figure, make this thing the Build-A-Figure. Then what I feel they should have done, and I think this would have been a lot more doable, in my opinion, is that you have the arms, the legs. So let's say, yeah, arms, legs, chest, head, and weapon be only require 4 figures to buy. I think that's fair. Since he's this size, I think it would have been fair to have like the full arms. Let's an example. Let's have the full arms be with like Optimus. Have the legs be with Megatron, the chest with Bumblebee, then the head and weapon with Shockwave. And done. There you go. You have the Maccadam figure. I think 4 figures would have been reasonable. And then you can have the other 4 be like a separate character and a separate character. I feel like that's what they should have done it if they really want to do this size for the Build-A-Figure. So now, so that's it. That's all I got to say. So yeah. So I apologize. This isn't my normal video because, again, he doesn't transform. So I apologize for the rant, but I just really wanted to like say that this figure as an action figure is not bad, but this is going to be the last time I say it. I don't like that he's non-transforming. I figured that he should have been, at the very minimum, be able to transform into something. And I don't even care if like maybe it's a Build-A-Figure. I don't care what excuses. I feel like he should have been able to transform. They should have found a way. It's like if you can, I mean, they're able to like recreate the Studio Series figures like almost 1-to-1. So I'm like, you need to tell me you can do that, but you can't make this design, this right here transform? I call shenanigans. I think they should. They can be able to. They should be able to. I don't think there's an excuse for that. And also, since, again, I had to buy, originally, you're supposed to buy 8 figures for this. I still bothers me on that one. He's deluxe class. He's a small deluxe class. Why did you need to buy 8s to complete this? So all of that aside, as a solo figure, he is pretty okay. He's not great. Again, I'd call him great if he had ankles, but he's okay. So that's enough of the rant. I'm done talking about this figure. To be honest, this should have been I mean, it technically was like a good 3-minute review or something like that. But yeah, I'm done. I'm calm. I'm centered. So yeah, so this has been my review of the Transformers Cyberverse Build-A-Figure Maccadam. Another fun fact, I think another weird thing, when I first read the name, I pronounced it Maccadam, because I saw the 2 C's. But thanks to Wheeljack, I now know the pronunciation is Maccadam. So I'm guessing one of the C's is silent, but whatever. So yeah, this has been my review of the Build-A-Figure Maccadam. And before signing off, here's my special person's Instagram. Please check it out. There's mine if you're curious. There's hers, more important. And yeah, that's it for the review. This is Composite Enerjoe signing off. Peace out and be safe.